Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over the new Lorac 2019 spring collection that I purchased from Ulta. So this collection includes 3 5-pan eyeshadow palettes and 3 highlighters. I only picked up 2 of the highlighters. I picked up the lightest 2 shades just because they suit me better. The third one would be too dark, so I didn't even bother purchasing that one. So I haven't used eyeshadow palettes yet, but I did want to swatch them for you guys. I have used the highlighter several times, so I'll give you my thoughts on those. So after I film this video, I am going to be applying some of the products when I get ready today. So I will insert those clips as I talk about the products, or maybe at the end of this video. So let's go ahead and talk about the highlighters first because I have used those. All right, so these are the new Lorac Light Source Mega Beam highlighters. I do have their original highlighters. I really like those. I think they're nice. The packaging's nice. The packaging on these is the same packaging, just a different color. So you have like this coppery rose gold packaging. It's really pretty, but I love the packaging overall. It's just like slim and it has a magnetic closure. It's very easy to open and close. You can see the product through the window. So overall, I really love the packaging. In here you get 6.5 grams of product, and these retail for $24 each. So again, I picked up the 2 lighter shades. This is the lightest, this is the second one, and then there is a third one that's just too dark for me, so I did not pick that one up. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these for you guys. All right, so the first shade right here is called Celestial. This is such a beautiful highlight. So these, in comparison to the older ones, are more intense. Comparing these to their original highlighters, those are a little bit less intense. These are more intense and I really like them. I think the formula is really nice on these. So Celestial is just a beautiful, I would say like a champagne gold. They're very soft. You can see it's nice and reflective. So just a very nice quality highlighter. It has a nice texture to it. It sits on the skin beautifully. I feel like it does not emphasize texture. It kind of just really melts into the skin. And you can see there, it has lots of shine to it. It's not glittery or sparkly. So I really like this. This one would suit people with fair to light complexions really well. That one was Celestial. The second one here is called Gilded Lily. And this one is also very, very beautiful. So pretty. They're just so smooth. Like, look at that. So this one looks too dark when I swatch it, but when I sheer it out on my cheeks, it looks fine. Like, I can wear this. I'm a light complexion with a light yellow undertone. I would say I'm like an NC 2025 if you're just curious. So this might not work if you're super fair, but like I said, if I sheer it out on my cheeks, it's really pretty. I can use this one for sure. But you can see that beautiful shine that these give. I love the formula of these. I would say I like the formula of these probably more than the originals, but I still really do like the original ones. Let me grab one so I can give you a little comparison. So like for instance, this is an original shade. I would say these two are kind of comparable in color. This one is called Daylight. These are just the illuminating highlighters. So you can see they kind of look a little bit similar, not dupes or anything like that. So I'm gonna swatch this one for you. So you can tell already just by the swatch on my finger, it's not as intense. And that one would be similar to this, which it's not even close. You can see that. This one definitely has more rosy tones to it, whereas this one's more like of a champagne color. But you can see these are much more reflective. So if you're not into like super reflective, shiny highlighters, you probably won't like these. I would say stick to the original. I personally like the newer formula better. I just think it kind of melts into the skin more. It's a little less powdery looking. Not that these look powdery on the skin, I think they look nice, but I just feel like these really just melt like butter into the skin. So I'm a fan of these, I really like them. And then this is one of their originals in Starlight. I would say these kind of look maybe similar in tone, but they're probably gonna be very different. So I'm gonna swatch this one for you. I just wanna show you. See, you can see it's much more subtle. Still gives a nice glow to the cheeks, but it is a little bit more natural looking than these. But again, I prefer these. I love the formula of those. So I'm very happy I picked these up. I think they're beautiful. I wish they would come out with a few more shades. That would be nice because the formula is awesome. All right, so now let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna go in with the first one here. This one is called the Unattached Elegance palette. So I just wanna let you know, these are paraben-free, gluten-free, fragrance-free, and always cruelty-free, just so you guys are aware. All right, so this is the unit carton. This is what the actual palette looks like right here. I'm sorry, you can actually see my camera and everything reflecting off of this packaging. So this is the Elegance palette again. So this is what the palette looks like. It does come with a double-ended brush. So the palettes come with a double-ended brush. This is like a fluffy crease type brush, and this is a kind of flatter, smaller petal type end here. I personally probably won't really use this. It looks like it would be usable. It doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great. Like this just looks, I don't know, like it's just a little long. The bristles probably are a little long for me, and I wish they were a little bit tapered more around the edge. Not such a blunt cut. I mean, I'm sure it still works, but I just prefer my own brushes. And then this side would probably be fine. This side would probably work for packing shadow onto the lid. So the palette does come with a mirror, and these are all the beautiful shades right here. So I was really like gravitating towards these middle shades. I really love cool tone shadows. I know most people love their warm tone shadows, but I think I prefer like neutral to cool tones more than warm. And I feel like I don't use them enough on my channel, cool tone shades. But I feel like it's because there's just not a lot of cool tone palettes or anything out, but I feel like more and more are coming out like recently. So I don't know, I was really drawn to the three middle shades. So this one is called Untouchable, Iconic, Timeless, Unattached, Undefiable. Let's go ahead and swatch these. This one's super soft like Lorac's original shadows, very smooth. Just gonna move the palette over here as I swatch. And I'm gonna take this one. So this one seems a little more sheer, like you need to build it up, but it is a really beautiful color. So I would imagine that one probably would apply best wet or with your finger versus a brush. This one's a matte. So I feel like they have that soft texture that Lorac always has. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally like it. I don't mind when shadows are super, super finely milled and soft. I feel like they just blend really nicely. They will give you some kick up, but I don't mind that at all. I'll just dust off my brush. But that's a really pretty kind of like plummy, dusty, purplish, taupey brown. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's really pretty. And then this one's called Unattached. This one looks like it has a chunkier texture. And I feel like my swatches are terrible, guys. Like, I should have made more room for the other shade, but that's okay. Yeah, again, this one seems kind of sheer, but it has a beautiful shine to it. I feel like, again, that one would apply best wet or with your fingers. And then lastly, this one here. Oh, that feels really smooth. So that one has a sheen to it. It's really pretty. All right, so those are all the shades, really pretty. These two here are mattes. These two are like metallics, but they do have more of a sheer finish. You do have to build them up, but they're really smooth and they apply nicely with the finger. So I would imagine they apply the best on your lid with the finger or wet. We will see when I use them. This shade I feel like is the odd man out. I just feel like it's kind of not going with the palette. Like these are so cool tone, and then this one here is just kind of like, where's your place? You know what I mean? So it's still a pretty shade. It has like a shimmer finish, whereas these seem more metallic. You know, I'm still going to use it. I would probably mix and match these palettes anyway, but I really wish they would have replaced this with another cool tone shade that would kind of go better with these shades here. So anyway, that's that palette. Seems really nice. And let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is the next palette. It's the Unzipped Unfiltered palette. Has a rolled gold packaging, whereas the other one was kind of like a, I would say like a taupe color, taupey silver. All right, so these are all the shades in this palette. This is probably my second favorite color scheme wise. So this one's called Legit, Straight Up, Unsweetened, Unplugged, Authentic. So if you're wondering, each pan size is 0.37 ounces. So these are actually bigger than like a Lorac Pro palette, if you're curious as far as the size goes. So those are the shades right there. Let's go ahead and swatch these. All right, so this first one here looks like a shimmer shade. Yeah, so that's just like a shimmer shade, just like a light champagne type shade. This next one looks kind of thicker in texture. Yeah, this one definitely has like a thicker consistency, a little more chunky feeling. This one seems like more of a top coat type eyeshadow. There's not a lot of base color, a lot of sparkle though. And I feel like that shade's already developing hard pan just from swatching it. So it's this pink sparkle with like a gold shift. I don't know if you guys can see the gold shift or not. I feel like when I put my hand like this, I can kind of see the gold up towards the top of my hand here. So I don't know, I'm not too crazy about that one. So this next one here is a matte. So it feels similar to Lorac's typical matte formula. It's very smooth and creamy. It does seem like it would have some kick up, but I don't mind that. So this next one is a, ooh, that one's kind of crumbly. Let's see here. Yeah, that one's pretty crumbly. You can see like the crumbliness right over there. That one's almost like a taupey brown with a little bit of a pink undertone, I would say. It is a pretty color. Okay, and then lastly is this dark brown, and this is a matte. Again, don't mind my swatches, you guys. I'm sorry, they're just all over. But that looks super pigmented. I love me a nice rich brown like that. All right, so the final palette is called the Unzip Brazen palette. I thought this was gonna be my least favorite color scheme, but honestly, I kind of like the color scheme in here now that I'm looking at it in person. If you look at this palette on the photos online on Ulta, this color looks very orange, like vivid, but in here it looks more like a coral. And I don't know if it's picking up true to color on camera. I feel like the lighting's a little off. So hopefully you guys can see that, but it's more of like a corally shade. I don't know, I'm kind of digging this color scheme actually, because I love dark browns. This is like another taupey shade, like a coral. This is a really beautiful like neutral transition color, and then this is like a shimmery shade. So this is called Unbuttoned, Ambitious, Free, Untamed, Unexplored. So let's go ahead and swatch this one. So the first one here, so this looks like a golden like a very light gold with a hint of pink undertone. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? I feel like when I turn my hand this way, it looks slightly pink. I don't feel like it looks like that in the viewfinder, but it's hard to tell. So in person, it looks like it has like a slight pinkiness to it, but mostly just a light gold. The next one here is a matte, super soft. Ooh, that one's a nice color. I really, really like that. Again, I feel like that would make a beautiful like crease color. I feel like it's a brown, but it does pull a little pink. So this one looks like a matte, but it has some very micro fine shimmers in it. But I feel like when you blend it out, it almost looks more satin. You can see a little sheen in there, but it's very slight. And I feel like that one looks more orange now that I swatched it than it looked in the pan. In the pan, I thought it was more like a corally pink, but now I feel like it looks pretty warm and pretty orange, which is not my favorite. I don't feel like oranges look great on me. And then this next one is almost like a coppery bronze. Now that I'm swatching it, definitely has more of a warmer undertone, which I feel like that's why it looks kind of bronzy, maybe with a hint of copper. It's a really pretty shade. I did have to build it up a little bit. And then lastly is the nice chocolatey shade right here. Ooh, so soft. Again, I love a rich brown. This one I would say is a little bit more warm than the prior palette. So the first palette I'm gonna take is the Lorac Unzipped Brazen palette. And I'm gonna go into Ambitious right here. Blend that right into my crease. It's like a brown, but it pulls a little like pinky brown. I really like that color. So next I'm gonna go into the Unzipped Unfiltered palette. And I'm gonna take the shade Unsweetened right here. And I just wanna pop this on the outer portion and blend it into the crease a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with the Unzipped Elegance palette. And I'm gonna take this shade right here called Iconic. I'm gonna use my finger because when I swatched these, I did say I think it would apply best with the finger. Yeah, that applies pretty. I've seen a couple people like mention that these, well, I heard one person mention when they used it, they just felt like this particular shade was like not as intense. But maybe they didn't use their finger, I don't know, because it's coming off pretty good with my finger. I would imagine with the brush, it probably wouldn't apply as well. So I think it's going good. I am getting some shimmery fallout here, which I hope comes off easily. I am gonna try the brush that it came with, just the packer brush, like the flat shader brush. And I'm gonna take that and just use the brush to pack that on. I mean, seems like it's going on good with the brush. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of this one called Unattached I just want to put that like more at the outer portion here. Let's try it with the brush, just to deepen up this a little bit. Yeah, I'd probably recommend, like, when you use these shimmery shades to do your eyes first, just because you are going to get some shimmer fallout. But I think this is applying actually pretty well for a brush. I didn't expect it to apply as well. I didn't expect it to apply as well with the brush, but it's applying just fine. So going back into the Brazen palette, I'm going to take this color right here again, and I'm going to take this brush. It is a GEEK Pro eyeshadow brush. I just want to kind of touch up the crease. And this was actually the first shade that we laid down, but I just want to bring that back through. This brush actually applies it a little heavier, I think. And now I want to take this color right here, and it's called Timeless. The same brush, I'm just gonna put this on the outer portion here. So this shade is more cool toned. And then I'm gonna go back in with my finger now for Unattached and just touch that up a little bit. And a little bit of this one in the inner portion. Ooh, I like this. I love cool tones, you guys. And I love to mix, like sometimes I love to mix cool tones with warm tones. For instance, I like to do like a warm crease, not too warm like orangey, but just a semi-warm crease and then like cool tones on the lid. I always think that looks so pretty. I'm just going to blend the top edges here, soften it up a little bit. For the sake of this video, I was complaining about this color in the palette. I just feel like it was the odd man out. But since I brought some of those other matte shades from the other two palettes into my crease, I feel like those have a little bit more of that kind of reddish tone, like right now, like mixed together they do. I feel like this one would go well. But normally with just these colors here, I just feel like that one may not work together with this palette by itself, but we're gonna use it right now because I think it's gonna go well with the crease. So I'm going to use this little brush and I wet it. It's the Golden Triangle 710 eyeliner brush from BDELLIUM Tools. And I'm just wetting my brush on a wet wipe and then going into the shadow, and I'm just using this as eyeliner. I am getting a little bit of fallout on my face, but this brush is working really nicely for this eyeliner look. Ooh, that looks so pretty. I'm impressed with the shadows and I'm impressed with the brush, using that as an eyeliner brush. And yeah, this look is good. I like it. I'm just gonna go in back to that same palette and use this color right here, Untouchable. And I'm just going to pop that on the brow bone. Taking the unfiltered palette, I'm gonna take this color right here called Legit. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey. And I'm gonna pop that on the inner portion. I feel like that's not shimmery enough. I'm gonna wet my brush. Oh yeah, that's much prettier when you wet it. I'm actually just gonna take that same palette and I'm gonna go into Unsweetened right here. I'm just gonna run that along the lower lash line. That's the only shade I'm gonna do. I just wanna put a little bit of definition there, but not anything heavy. All right, so let's do highlighter. I'm gonna use one of these new Lorac highlighters from their spring collection. So this is the Light Source Mega Beam highlighters. They have 3 shades. I picked up the 2 lighter ones and they're just so beautiful. I love these. I kind of feel like I want to go with the more pinky one. I think it would go with this look better. I'm just going to take this Sephora highlighting brush. It's the Pro Highlight number 98. So we're going to go in with this beautiful highlighter right here. And when I swatched this one on my hand in my haul video, like it looks too dark, but blended onto the cheeks, it looks beautiful. Like it doesn't look too dark at all, so. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I love it. All right, guys, so this is the completed look. I absolutely love the eyes. I thought the shadows performed nicely. Like I heard somebody talk about that Elegance palette and they talked about those two like shimmery shades and they were saying they were a little lackluster, but I like them. I don't know, I think they're really pretty. Like I said before, they're they have a lot more sparkle than just like a metallic shadow would, but they still are metallic, but they have a lot of sparkle to them, which I love. And then that shimmery burgundy shade in this palette is really pretty as eyeliner. And then the mattes that I used in the crease were awesome from the other palettes. So far so good with these palettes. I do have to play with the rest of them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.